Today we're getting under the hood of Nidhi Sharma, a mother, daughter, sister, trained architect, and the founder of Half Life to Health, a platform that makes health and fitness accessible to every woman in an easy, simple, and sustainable manner. Nidhi was born and raised in India, where women have far fewer rights compared to men. Fortunately, she had access to higher education and was raised with a strong desire to help others thanks to her family. While growing up in India, she witnessed the unequal distribution of responsibilities between men and women. She noticed how women often prioritize the needs of others over their own well-being, leading to neglecting their health, among many other things. If left unaddressed, minor health issues can become life-threatening. She witnessed this firsthand with her own sister, who neglected her health due to other pressing responsibilities. Unfortunately, her sister passed away from a bacterial infection as her body was not strong enough to fight it off. Nidhi now resolves to change this by making women more aware about their bodies and simplifying the process of getting healthier. That drives the everyday mission of Half Life to Health, and it drives Nidhi. Welcome.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for inviting me, and I'm so excited to be a part of this series. Really looking forward towards the conversation.
Wonderful. So if I would like to ask you, like, when did that spark occur in terms of you, the desire to really get into health and affecting change?
My childhood was amazing. I was exposed to all, good education, unconditional love from my parents, good family, and friends. Very good relationship with my family and friends. But as soon as I entered my teenage, I started seeing disparity all around, like how women are being asked to stay inside, you are not safe going outside, with respect to education, right? With respect to going out and studying abroad, with respect to trying challenging profiles. So I started noticing all that. And but life goes on. I pursued my architecture and I started doing a hands-on job. And in India, there is this step by step. First, you finish your education, then you get married to the right man, have kids, get a house, get a car. And by 35, I was having all that, and I was like, what next? Why I'm doing this? So I started questioning all these things in my head, like, what is my motivation to wake up every day? What should I do? What is my mission in life? So yeah, all those pressing questions were there, and at the same time, as you mentioned, I lost my sister due to a bacterial infection, and her story is not one of the story. There are a lot of women out there because I was doing a 9 to 5 job myself, and I was seeing all people around me. There were a lot of women, there were a lot of men who were experiencing neck pain and back pain and thyroid issues and diabetic issues, and because the whole work life balance was missing, and that's why. So I saw my sister losing her life, but at the same time I was looking all these women around me who are also on the same path, and that was something where I was like, this I need to change. I cannot let them be like this. I need to create much more awareness. There should be a better way of balancing everything. There should be a path, in between path, where you want to excel in life, you want to do good at your profession, but at the same time you need to prioritize your health. There can be a midway. So yeah, that was the point where I was like, nothing else matter in life.
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for sharing that, and kudos to you, first of all, to make that pivot. So talk to me as you began that journey into figuring out what it was for you, because obviously it started with you. How did you go about making that into a product, a company with a mission and a vision?
It was in 2018. I was doing long distance running. So I was a working professional. I was having a daughter who was that time 5 years old, and I was taking care of my health. My health was my priority, and I was working in a very challenging profile. So with all this, I was, also prioritizing my health well. So I was like, if I can do this, I can help others as well. And the whole thing, which is the key here, is how you prioritize. So if you prioritize your profession over your health, you know how it is going to be. So how we need to look at as like your health is one in your life, and rest everything is a zero. So if your health is there, you can be a better mother, you can be a better professional, an architect, you can earn a lot of money. So if one is there, you can have like lot of zeros and can have like a fulfilling life. But if your health is not good, even if you have a luxurious car, 10 promotions, you are a CEO of a company, but every time you have to take blood pressure medicine or you need to take diabetic medicine, you are unable to walk for long distance, it is not worth. So I really want that clarity to sit inside people to understand that clarity. And if you have that clarity, then you can make all the right decisions in your life. So this was the point for me. I have first helped with this philosophy. First, I have helped myself, and then I started sharing this on our Instagram account. By small, funny, videos and reels, and it started getting traction. Very organic. A lot of women started reaching out to me and asking like, "Hey, how you are doing? Can we also do? Can you suggest? How do you prioritize your work? How do you prioritize your workout? How do you cook healthy with limited time?" And yeah, that's how it all started. And now I'm happy that I'm connected to around 400K women out there. So we have a good following on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well. So yeah, when your story is coming from deep inside, it started growing organically. When a lot of people started reaching out to us, and we were like, hey, let's package it now, because let's have a team, let's provide them services, let's see what we can do. So we run different kind of programs. People who can pay more, we do one to one. People who can pay less, we do a group one, but we provide services to everyone who is reaching out to us.
Well, first of all, congratulations. So I think that this journey of getting people healthy is such a mindset thing. It's like really evaluating what matters to you. So, as you've gone on this journey, tell me about what you think about that. Because clearly, you had the same thing. You were a very successful architect, 15 years in the corporate world. And then you said that you moved. Talk about your move and then how you brought this way of life into your life.
I think that's the journey is very challenging, because when you are doing good and you are getting a handsome salary, then suddenly you decide to quit a job, and the whole world around you is like, "Are you fool? Are you doing? Are you mad? What are you doing? What are you going to do?" All these questions will come, and it will make it so hard. No one will support you. So your husband will understand, your close family will understand, but no one apart from that. And at the same time, you are not very sure what you are going to build. So that surety is not there. So you are jumping and you don't know whether you will, come out of it. So it is something like this, which is I'll say very comfortable situation. But I think the biggest thing here was what I was doing. I was not happy. I was like, here, anyways, I'm not happy. Let me take this leap. Let me jump. Let me explore. I'll reach somewhere. I'm not sure where. I'll reach somewhere. But sitting here, I'm not comfortable. So I think that was like my inner thing, that I have to move. I have to take this chance. That's how all this started. There were tough time. I can tell you, still there are times where I cry and I was like, this is too hard for me to take, because things are at times falling apart, and you're just like, you are standing there and you're like, hey, let's fix it together. Let's keep the ball rolling. But it is hard. But at the same time, sitting was not an option for me. I was not happy there. I'm in a place where I'm exploring a lot. It is hard, but I'm happy. I'm happy with in last 5 years where I have reached. I'm so happy. We are building new products. We are constantly growing. So uh, first I came into health and wellness, and then we started focusing on women health, and now we have discovered so many loopholes with respect to reproductive health and pelvic floor dysfunction and digestive erectile. All these words or all these issues are not being spoken enough, right? People are not even aware of these things. So now the mission is like, much mission is also like, it will get stronger as you move. You will also discover, and then you will feel like, no, this has to be done. I have to talk to people about menopause. I need to make them aware about perimenopause. They cannot be sitting and suffering. So I think it's a process of taking that leap of faith. Have some faith in the almighty or some universal power that you will find your way. I think that's the way.
I think you hit on something fundamentally that I would ask all of us is, are you happy? Was I happy doing what I did? I mean, I loved the work I did, but the all-encompassing parts of it and the leadership was really hard and it took its toll. I think that that's a great question to say to women out there, are you happy? And the other thing you said that really speaks to me is not knowing what tomorrow looks like. So I think to your point of reaching in and going in and thinking about women's health now, the way you're bringing that into your programming. And so I'm kind of curious. I mean, I know that you don't live in India. I don't know if that's your largest customer base. So are you having the challenges of addressing taboo topics? Like what, as you begin to start talking about these different women's health conditions or life stages, how is that being received and what is the culturally happening with your community?
Being when I was in India, it was always like anything related to menstrual health, menstrual cycle, periods was totally like, things you need to discuss in the restrooms and in the washrooms, not in an open platform, in a get together, or you cannot discuss. It is like women talk, right? You will discuss with your friends only. So the scenario was something like this. I was not very sure that what all can be done with respect to that. As I, started in health and wellness, and I understand how important is menstrual cycle. What are the key symptoms? We need to speak about this because as soon as you enter into any phase where you start experiencing any kind of discomfort, disease, menstrual cycle is the first thing which will get disturbed. So this is the first clue which you need to hold and need to work around why this is happening, and this is how you will figure out what is going wrong inside your body. So this is the first thing. And when I realized the importance of this, I was like, oh my god, this has to be taught. This young girls should be aware of this. They should know that, otherwise they will be keep on suffering from unknown things, and by the time it will be in their blood test, by the time it will be in the ultrasound, it will be too late. So once I got aware about that, I was like, I am going to discuss it on all the platforms. I will be talking about it openly. Now I think there is this change which is happening, not just in developed nation like US or UK. It is happening everywhere. Even like in India, people are getting aware because they are suffering for a long time. And as soon as I'll put something across with respect to women health, there's a lot of traction. There's a lot of questions out there. So I think the curiosity is there. People want to know. They really, it's a time where a lot of, I'm sure you are aware of recent announcement of 12 billion funding for women related health issues. But I think this is the time where all this women are asking all the questions they want to get, they really want to know. At the same time, even the governments and the research institutes are realizing the importance of this. So I think it's a time. And as just to summarize what you asked, there is a lot of curiosity. As soon as I'll post something, I'll get so many questions asking for more details, how we can improve, how can we further take it forward. So I think it is not a taboo subject anymore. People are looking for answers.
And I want to ask you a question because you made a comment about the period or the menstruation. When the cycle, you made a comment about when the cycle is disrupted, if there's a problem. I guess also the question I would have is if a young woman starts, for instance, first year and she gets her period and her period's fairly normal, and then a year or two later, just say she starts getting very busy with sport or whatever, and then suddenly she gets heavy bleeding. There is a correlation on that side as well. One would argue that it could be related to stress and other factors. So it's really, really interesting, the conversations, to your point of the curiosity, but the different types of conversations. And the one thing that struck me, Nidhi, is the fact that women, and you were alluding to this, but the fact that you, even in your intro with your sister, we've been so busy taking care of everybody else that we've been very dismissive of our own health challenges. And I think there's two things that happen here. In doing so, we don't get diagnosed. But then when we do go in certain circumstances to get diagnosed, it can take 5 to 10 years with a different condition. And so I think that back to your comment around educating, having that conversation, normalizing it is what's going to get women into their physician's office sooner, asking the right questions, right?
Right. And it will also, the doctors cannot dismiss you. When you say, like, hey, my periods are coming at this time, this is changing, can you help me with that? And doctor might be like, okay, you go back and it will be okay. And then you will be like, no, it has happened like 3 times. So I think the one thing here is we need to track our periods very well. So I usually ask clients like, "How are you tracking?" And they were like, "In the calendar," or "I remember it." I like, please don't do this. Now we have Apple Health, we have Flow, Clue, a lot of apps are there. Please start tracking them, especially for I'm I'm in my 40s. I have missed the initial tracking part, but I really want to do it for my daughter because as soon as I'll see like how she is in her teens, how she is in her 20s, it will tell me a projection how her body is changing, right? So let's make use of technology. Please track your periods pretty well, and you can write it, make notes, and tell your doctor, see, it has happened 3 times, and that will encourage them to take more investigation, probably refer a blood test or an ultrasound to diagnose any condition at earlier phase.
If we do our jobs in women's health with the people who are going out and educating, we will be driving women to be empowered to take care of their bodies, to have the information, be educated, and to go and ask questions. And then you made the really good comment, which is, no, if the doctor says go this, go back and say no. Or I would say find another doctor. Like make
Right.
sure that you feel supported because you're still going to sometimes feel like you're being dismissed. I think that women will be stronger in terms of having that conversation. What do you think?
I just feel with the current technology, with the current advancement, and the thing is curiosity. You want to know more. You're like, what is happening? I want to be my 100%. I don't want to operate at like my husband at 45, my age, is doing amazing. Why I'm the one who is not 100% right now? Why every day I'm into mood swings, not sleeping well? My appetite is going low, or I am just depositing too much fat around my belly. Why this is happening to me? I'm following this. So I'm just saying that thing of like empowerment. I really want to be at the same level. I have to live another 55 years. It's a long life. I'm not going to live like this. So we called it as a grandmother's life. I'm not going to live a grandmother's life, staying at home, waiting just for my grandkids to come and I'll play with them. No, I have my own ambitions and I want to achieve and I want to work hard. So, yeah, I think all the answers will come when the questions are being asked. So, yeah, we are in a phase where we are encouraging more questions so that we can have the required support to find the answers along with everyone.
I'm really curious now. Your company with Half Life to Health, as you see yourself progressing, what do you see your offerings? Like, how do you imagine it? And I know, Nidhi, like things change dynamically for organizations, but what are you seeing the future of Half Life to Health?
So right now, we are a platform where we provide different services, which is more one-to-one and in group settings. How we want to progress is to make it more automated, more AI driven, where we can learn for our customers, like you are there, how's your day? How well have you slept? What is your HRV? How well are you operating on a day-to-day basis? Can I tell you something with respect to, okay, you had this disturbed sleep, can you do something today in the morning so that you can have your body properly recovered, which has not been recovered due to a disturbed sleep. So we really want to get into a place where we can provide you precise intervention with respect to your daily activities. So I think with the technology, with the wearable technology now, where we can check your body temperature, we can have your heart rate variability, we are moving in a direction where we can provide you precise information.
That's awesome. That sounds fantastic. And it's going to be interesting as you look at different stages of life will require different things, right? So
Especially, yeah. So a category when we talk about like till 35, it's still your energy levels are high, hormones are working well, but as soon as you move from 35 to 45, what will happen? That there is a lot of hormonal changes, and those hormonal changes need precise interventions with respect to nutrition, lifestyle, and workouts. So yeah, after 35, I really tell women to take better care of themselves,
Oh, that's interesting. I was going to ask you, I was going to ask you, is that your demographic, which is like 30 plus or 35 plus, where women are like just on the precipice of entering into the next stage, which, 40, as early as 40 could be going into perimenopause where you're having all those changes. And so that's kind of interesting. That's really curious. In terms of like, what would you like to share in terms of the other things, like what Half Life is doing right now to health, like how you're helping women and what you're seeing in terms of the response in terms of your organization.
What we are seeing, and I'm very happy about it, women get to me and they'll say, I don't want to be slim, I want to be strong. And that is like amazing. And as soon as they will say, like, then I'll like, okay, we are going to help you in this way. Slowly and gradually, we'll build the intensity of the workouts and nutrition as well. So I think that one change itself is so amazing. With respect to, so again, we get a lot of clients, few of them during this journey get so motivated that they take lifestyle changes, workouts, and strength training as their like uh, for forever. They inculcate that into their life, and they were like, we are not going to leave it, and they see amazing results. But at the same time, there are many women out there who take that program and then they will be like, oh, some marriage is coming and this is happening and that is happening, and because of that they are unable to continue. And for this, I think as a society, we need to grow. The problem here is those women have never seen their mothers doing any kind of workout. They have never seen their aunts doing any kind of, diet or focusing on their nutrition. And somehow in their mind, it is like they have lived a happy life. They are living till 80. I probably will manage, right? So that approach, I think that has to change as a society. But I'm so happy that more and more women these days are focusing on getting stronger and eating nutritious food rather than just cutting on the fats all every time. So I think we are evolving, but we still have a long way to go.
Well, thank you for that. And I have to say, I love the getting stronger versus getting slimmer. That's brilliant. To your comment of, when women inculcate these behaviors and they become a lifetime thing, they recognize the power of what it gives them. But I think it's really hard to get those people from, you'll get some fence sitters, but when you look at the continuum of where they are in terms of motivations, it's really hard to drive people into becoming self-directed. You can drive them to be motivated, but for the question is how to extend that timeline for them, and I think it's interesting that you're getting them young. And I liked also your comment, Nidhi, on the fact that we didn't see our mothers doing exercises. We as a society, I don't think women recognize that when you do these behaviors, you're role modeling behaviors that will have lifetime effects in terms of your children, the people that are in their lives. It's like so powerful. And so what are your thoughts on that, as you have a daughter? And I know that you said your daughter was 5 when you were in India, and so is she now like closing in on 10?
Yeah, so my daughter is 11 now, and what I say, like what you have just explained, I summarize it in one word, that in one line, that if a man is healthy, family, a society is healthy, because we are the one who are the in charge of the house. So we are making all the decision with respect to what to be cooked, morning hours. First you go and exercise, sweat, and then have your breakfast. So we are setting all those ground rules. So if a woman is healthy, the family is healthy, and if a family is healthy, the society is healthy. The other thing is women share a lot. They talk to their friends, they talk to their girlfriends. So we have this group and community as compared to men. That is, we are more verbal with respect to our experience. So that this is how we influence everyone. So as you said, like you were active, your daughters are active, your son is active, and I'm sure your neighbors and their friends are also getting inspired that okay, we need to do something, our daughter should be much more active or probably athletic. Same as the story at my home. My daughters also play badminton on a competitive level here in Berlin, going going for the sports school, and will be playing it on a competitive level for her next, another years. So currently she is 11 years old, but that's the path we think is the right thing for her, because if her body is good, if she is active enough, studies and all, everything she'll cope up with. So, and this is what happened, like, because she's playing, her friends are getting influenced, they are also coming for the badminton practice, and their parents are also thinking in those lines. So this is how you start influencing. I do long distance running, my brother also does it. So, and my sister-in-law is also doing it. So it is, you know, you become that flag holder in your, torch holder in your community.
So I have one, like, I guess more one question or one offering. If you want to give a message about your business, and then I'll ask the last question. But I think this conversation's been very interesting to me, and I'll tell you why. It's been about health, but it's been about the almost the spiritual mental side as well, is getting into that right space to understand the power of balance and equanimity in your life. And so do you want to share anything more about Half Life to Health before we ask the last
Right.
question?
Half Life to Health is a women-centric platform. We provide wellness services, how you should eat, what you should eat, and how you can move around. We start with very small, sustainable steps because we really want it to be a lifestyle change, whether a 3 months quick program, weight loss program, not like that. We really want it to be sustainable. We focus on women who are towards their midlife, around 35 plus, because during that time it is very, very important to take care of nutrition. How you move is also important because your joints are not as young as they were before, so we take care of this. I'm also happy to introduce our new product. We are developing a product for perimenopausal women. The product is called Her Heart. So women who experience severe symptoms of perimenopause, they are more likely to develop cardiovascular disease post menopause. So we are focused on this product. The product, our company is based out of US. The demography currently we are focused is in US, and how we are working towards in Her Heart, we are taking data from CGM, and we are analyzing that data, and based on that we are providing you preventive interventions which you can include on daily basis, and every day you can see how those interventions are taking your score up, how your markers are getting improved on daily basis. We are also tracking symptoms because perimenopausal women are experiencing a lot of symptoms. So we are tracking symptoms, and within a month, 2 months, you can see substantial improvement in your symptoms. So yeah, this is more or less what we are doing through Half Life to Health and Her Heart Go.
Well, that's awesome. And I think that's a great next step. I really think it's interesting, the education from perimenopause and those symptoms to the cardiovascular at postmenopause. That's going to be huge. And I think what's really interesting, Nidhi, is that we as women, we haven't even been trained to think this way. So it's like there's so much opportunity for companies to go in and do this work and to sort of give women those aha moments. Oh my goodness, I never thought of this. Had I been doing this, and that's going to be terrific product helping women in terms of setting up their future. And so by
Right.
putting this in, women's minds, they're more likely, to really think about it and be curious about it. So kudos to you. That's fantastic. So my last question is the question I ask everyone. This is your platform to give a message to women around the world of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all cultures. What do you want to share with them, Nidhi?
I want to share that your life is today. Every day is your life, days into week and week into year. I really want you to bring that focus on every day and feel happy. Do things which are making you happy. Don't look for, like, after 10 years I'll reach there and then I will be happy. You really need to do things which are making you happy now, and take those steps. Again, when I say happy, you really need to prioritize your health, your mental well-being, your self-care first. So this is a saying, first you put your own mask in the airplane and then you help others. So please get into the place where you start taking care of your first. Try to ensure each and every day is great for you. You're feeling, you're energetic, and then you will be having a fulfilling life. So don't plan for that promotion after 10 years, a new house after 10 years, 20 years. I'm going to do this. Live every day. Live every day.
Nidhi, this has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for getting under the hood with me and for sharing your story.
Thank you for inviting me under the sisterhood. It means a lot to me, and I'm so glad.
Thanks for listening to Under the Sisterhood. If you haven't already, please give us a quick rating and review on Apple or Spotify. And make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn so you can hear from more amazing women. This podcast is created and hosted by Under the Sisterhood LLC and Elizabeth Elfenbein, produced by Elizabeth Elfenbein and Matt Butler, and edited by Matt Butler. The music is by Ayla Schaefer. Her song, Rose.